What is up, guys? Mr. Yummy Gummy coming back at you with a brand new video. And today we are reading Reddit horror stories from the bathroom.
My racks in a mattress, I came in through the back and I still leave with my back. And shawty turn his dream to a nightmare. You see me bossed up and you think it's not fair. I don't wanna hear.
So this one is titled 8th Grade Diarrhea Horror Story. I'm just going to read it from his point of view. True story. I have suffered from IBS my entire life and have experienced more than my fair share of nightmares in the worst possible times and places. So today I'm going to tell you about just one of them. When I was in 8th grade, we had only 2 to 3 minutes in between classes. I was in choir for 5th period, and the choir room was all the way on the opposite side of the building from the rest of my classes. On this particular day, I had been suffering from some pretty nasty stomach cramps. It sucked, but it was nothing terribly out of the ordinary. Choir class came to an end. I had the hall ass across the building in 2 minutes to make it to my English class. My English teacher was a total bitch and would often resort to ridicule and passive aggressive humiliation when dealing with students she didn't favorite. I often made fun of her to my friends, insulting her for always wearing the same striped cotton turtlenecks to hide her double chin. This might sound cruel on my part, but she was the type of teacher who favored the popular smart kids and just had shitty, cynical attitude for any student who was less than perfect in her eyes. Anyway, in just 2 minutes, I had to run across the school, go to my locker to switch my books, and make it to the bitch's dumbass class on time. Once I got to my locker, it suddenly hit me that I had to pee really bad. I knew I was really running low on time and did not want to divert to the nearby restroom, but the building pressure in my gut made me realize I had little choice. Once I got to the bathroom, I knew I was probably going to be late already, so I knew I had to empty my bladder in record time. In a rush of pure adrenaline and anxiety, I pushed my pee out as hard and as quickly as I could. Apparently, I pushed just a little too hard, and I soon felt what can only be described as some of my pee leaking out of my ass and running down my leg. I immediately felt mortified and realized I had just squirted liquid shit all the way down my pant leg. It was the consistency of pure water and smelled like propane, sulfur, and burnt tires. Nevertheless, I was so scared of my English teacher and missing slash being late to this class that I ended up just running to class anyway. I arrived with seconds to spare and promptly sat down in my own liquid shit, hoping no one around me could smell the demonic fumes emanating from my jeans. Our desks in this class were clustered together in pairs, just perfect, right? I happened to be seated next to this really cute girl who made me super nervous. I kept looking at her out of the corner of my eye to monitor her expression, hoping to God she couldn't smell what I could smell. At this particular time in my English class, we were studying the history and culture of slavery in the 1800s. And Miss Fat Turtleneck Bitchface made us sing Swing Low Sweet Chariot as a class. I was absolutely petrified and not wanting to draw my attention to myself, could only mouth the words under my breath and my vocal cords remained paralyzed in fear. My dumb bitch of an English teacher didn't care to realize I had just come from choir and would normally have no problem singing out loud. She always seemed to single me out because, to be fair, I frequently missed assignments and didn't pay attention in class. So, to my horror, she came over and got her face super close to mine and made a sarcastic, angry smile, trying to force me to sing audibly. My anxiety just grew worse, and I honestly could have passed out at the point from the pressure and potential humiliation. My forehead began producing beads of sweat. I could feel myself blushing as I sat staring blankly ahead like a deer in the headlights. I stayed super still, trying to avoid further agitating the pool of anal leakage in my pants and emitting even more toxic fumes into the space around me. The rest of the day went mostly okay, and I just kind of kept quiet and watched the clock in anticipation for when I could get home, change my pants, and relieve the mounting pressure in my bowels. Luckily, I only had to get through one more easy class period and a bus ride home before I could find the solace of my own commode. When I got home, I finally let out the rest of my shit and come to find out it was white. I didn't tell anyone this at the time, but apparently that's a sign of liver failure or something. But it never happened to me again, so I don't know. Anyway, I know this is a funny story, but I just can't believe sitting in my own diarrhea for 3 hours seemed like a better option to me than going to the nurse's office and facing the awkwardness of what had happened to me. So, guys, that was the first story. I think it was pretty good. I would rate it like a 9 out of 10. I know I don't always read the best and I stutter a lot, but let's go on to the second story. Okay, this second story is called "He Shattered the Toilet Seat." I'm really curious to see where this goes. Okay, so this is a story from my friend when he was at primary school. Anyway, on with the story. So when my friend was at primary, he was in the class opposite the school toilets. It's important to know that there were changing rooms connected to these toilets. The way his classroom was shaped was that there was a window looking into the corridor where the toilets were. As he was sitting next to the window, he could see everyone walking past the toilets. About 2 minutes before the lesson ended, this really, really big kid in year 4 walked into the bathroom. He didn't think of anything of it because why would you? Just after the lesson ended, my friend was walking down the corridor and he had heard the loudest cracking sound ever. It came from the toilets. In confusion, he walked into the bathroom and sure enough, the entire cubicle has fallen down and the toilet looked something like out of a horror movie. The fat guy was just standing there and said, "I don't know what happened," and walked out of the room casually. His previous teacher was calling for the principal as it was so loud the entire corridor could hear it. As the guy had left, my friend was the only person in the room, so the principal would think it was him. So he did the only thing possible. He ran into the changing rooms that I mentioned before, and he just hid there. Sure enough, the principal walked in and just gasped. He checked the changing rooms and walked right past my friend. This gave him the chance to bolt for the door without the principal seeing. This is all he told me about the experience. Not sure how much is true, but if my friend got caught, his reputation would have been ruined as he is the nerd and had won many school awards and was well known about the principal. Wow. Um that was an interesting story. I've never heard of a toilet seat really breaking by someone sitting on it. I wish there was more context to it. But guys, if you did enjoy me reading these Reddit stories, please leave a like on the video so I know you did enjoy. And comment down below any suggestions for stories that you want me to read. I could read about like people being assholes or something like that. Just comment down below and like the video if you did enjoy, and tell people you know about these videos. I will see you guys in the next one.
Growing up and hit this magic. With the gang, we ball out, it can get tragic. All we got, we gon' let you niggas have it. Stuck in my ways, think I need to change my habits. What would you do if you were me and